yeah, I've loved watching, what I've seen so far this morning, and we've got a great heat on our hands here too.
Yeah, looking to heat 3. J.Marshall taking on Mateus Herdy. Now, right now though, J.Marshall with his opening ride.
Yeah, so let's see Jake, just a little foam climb there. It looks like he's setting up for a little inside track here as this one sets up through the inside. Beautiful rail work. And we'll see if this wave has anything more to offer. Kind of looks like it's a little bit tapered. Oh, but he goes to the air. Pulls a little, does he make it? No. And then Mateus, so on his opening wave, bit foamy to start, but see if we can get around this section and this wave. Whoa! Oh my goodness, going so progressive there. Kind of just really surprised me, and I love that about his surfing. He just kind of you never really know what he's going to throw. So really exciting stuff there from Mateus, giving us some progression. Now J.Marshall here. Looking to answer back. Wow, just the cleanest, classiest rail lines into an oncoming section here for J.Marshall. Connecting so well when that lip line approaches. I love that he's keeping it short. He's not going to have a lot of downtime. He knows he's maximised points on that wave. This is going to be a great heat, just thinking about the differences of these two and how hard they're already pushing in these first 5 minutes. Mateus now. Deep bottom turn, drifting up and over, and goes down there, unfortunately, for Mateus Herdy.
Yeah, super special. So,
mate, yesterday when we spoke, it's absolutely pumping out there. Yesterday when we spoke, you said that you were a little bit frustrated with your heat. You just didn't get enough waves. I mean, today you had a lot of hustle out there.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, just change it up a bit. And
have you got another gear?
I think so. I think I do. Yeah, I think. Just depends how the waves are. Waves just right now they're so good, but yeah, definitely want to show a bit more in the next one.
He's looking for these little chip shot ones on the inside. They do have a really nice bowl when you get ahead of the section. Unfortunately, just a little bit too far behind here. I like the look of this wave. Bit of a wobble at the start. Watch it bowl up here. That's a huge first turn. Had an awkward fall again on that second one. So he just stays super active and fidgety in heats here. Really nice cupped out bowl in front of Mateus. There's the second carve. Felt a bit better than the first. Wow, surfing really tight in the pocket here. Mateus drifts the fins on the fourth manoeuvre. And this wave, it's going to end there. But just the pace he is surfing with today.
This wave he put together really well. I mean, it's a smaller wave. You compare this to what we saw in the previous heat, but really great surfing. I mean, beautiful rail work and just smooth, but super twitchy and able to release the fins when he needs to. Once again there. So I just feel like as soon as he gets the opportunity on, one of those waves that we saw come through in that last heat that Ethan was on, this guy is going to be on. You can tell already in his surfing. I think, yeah, there's a real electricity there. And
let's check out the speed, Jesse.
So active in this heat right now. This one's going to bowl up through here. And that's a really fast carve here from Mateus Herdy. I wasn't overly convinced, but I like the look of this wave now. Just kicking that back foot so quick into an air reverse. Can't hold on, but every time he's up on his feet, he's building momentum.
Obviously, Jake more dropping anchor as we see Mateus under priority, kind of getting into this little chip shot down the line a little bit. But yeah, I do love the quad underneath his feet. I like Kaipo's point, he's surfing with a lot of speed, and this had a funny little twist through the inside this wave, and he just read this little cupped out section so well. I love that he went for that manoeuvre at the end there. I mean, if he sticks that, he's, well and even more pressure as we see Jake out the back.
Waited a long time for this one. Oh, I just love his rail carves. That's a big floater. Had a good amount of air under his board, just pushing even harder through this section in Little Marley here. High lines. Sees another section for a big down carve from J.Marshall. We talk about that fast zippiness of Mateus Herdy. There is definitely an element of power that J.Marshall has over Mateus. Those calves just seem to have a little bit more grunt behind them.
Sure, I think to Bells, I think to El Salvador, where he's really excelled. And let's have a look here. So beautiful rail work here, really tidy, really powerful. And I love that little bit of the float there through that really tricky section. As we approach this lower tide, I think it's getting more and more difficult really to fit those turns in that, really shallow bit of water, lows at 220 this afternoon.
Love that smooth traditional line that J.Marshall is showing us. So it's a lot to digest for the judges right now. There almost is a couple of different scales that these guys can go off. Wow, straight off the ski into a wave behind the rock here for J.Marshall. It's just going to be a quick one. It almost feels like a slight reposition. Scores locking in though. We've got a wave that is going to lock J.Marshall right back into this heat. That last wave, Jake's going to have a look here. Second priority, so he's getting this under Mateus just to float. So real cool, calm, collected there from Mateus. I feel like in history, Mateus has always kind of fallen for those tricks, but to keep his calm here, you can see he's growing now that he's on the championship tour. Using priority here, needs to better a 6-point ride to keep applying pressure on the American J.Marshall. Oh, it's a foamy looking face here for Mateus. He's going to tuck in though. It starts to clean up through Little Miley. He's deep in the tube here. Finds the exit, points back to the beach. Mid-wave plane into an air reverse here for Mateus Herdy. It's got more down the line. Starts to really lay into a nice carve. Is there more? There's another section to work with. Chucks to fins again. 2 airs, 1 wave. Another air reverse there. Leandro Dora absolutely loving it here.
Let's go back and have a look what he got done here. So it started off really foamy, and see the funny angle it had through this section. I mean, you were calling it, Jesse, it kind of had a weird little motion through it, but this was a great read. And then just like the length of the tube, the way it stayed open, and then after this, he gives us progression straight up through the lip, and then gets around the section. It was almost like a transition. Use the air as like a transitioning maneuver, gets the little layback, and then goes to the air again here on the inside. So, I mean, that was a masterclass from Mateus. It was really well done on a really tricky wave to read. So I think you got to take your hat off to the read of the water on this wave, and I think this was the perfect move through this section, the barrel. I thought maybe he was going to be a little bit too wide of the barrel, but it just kept providing. And
well, he went excellent yesterday. He's done it again today. That score locks in at an 8-point ride. We're at the Breitling 2-minute countdown. 90 seconds to go here. J.Marshall on a smaller wave, but it's growing down the line. This needs to be a 7.87. Foam on the face as well. He's got a couple of calves in to start this off. A nice connection out the back as well. Over 60 seconds to go. This is probably going to be his last opportunity, so needs to make the most of it here. Starts to push harder on the rail. A little bit hung up. Drops out of the lip here. Just feeling like the body language isn't super convincing. Throws the fins and goes down. It felt like halfway through that wave, he knew that he needed more here.
Yeah, I think so. The body language is pretty indicative of that. I
really did feel like it came down to wave selection at the start. Mateus with a victory lap here. Stace Galbraith would call this a perso, taking it all the way through the inside, locking in excellence, an 8-point ride, backing it up with a 6.33, and going to the quarterfinals for the first time in his rookie year here. This is exactly just that breakthrough moment he needed after a bit of a rocky start.
Oh, totally. I feel like this is going to be incredible for his confidence. Like I mentioned, the 17th at Bells, the 33rd at Margs, they're going to be long gone. I mean, he's on to the quarterfinals now, and I think he's the kind of surfer that's going to run with this momentum. So I'm looking forward to seeing, that next round and the quarterfinal matchup.
Mateus, congratulations, mate. For so long, we knew that your surfing was up to this level. It took you a while to get here, but it must be starting to feel so real, mate. Gets through another heat with some sensational surfing and a beautiful platform and so much support from the crowd as well.
Yeah, so happy. Definitely feels real now. And when I was getting barreled, I don't know, you never get barrel in the QS, man. So like I was in the barrel, I was like, please make it, I don't want to fall. And then as soon as I made that barrel, I was like, God, that would be probably gonna change my score. So I was really happy. The waves weren't that good in my heat, but it was still firing. Like it wasn't good as Ethan and Atul's heat, but it was just firing. It's still really fun out there.
Yeah, there weren't as many sets as the heat before yours, but the opportunities were there, and you were super, super busy. Was that the strategy?
Yeah, for sure. I knew if I didn't have priority, I would just keep it busy. And then as soon as I got priority, I was like, all right, I'm going to surf I thank God I hold priority because he would have gone on that wave and probably would have lose. So, yeah, stoked that I made the right calls. And, I spoke to Leandro, my coach, just before if I have opportunity to do an air right in the first turn, right in the first part of the wave, I would try. And that actually would help me in that heat because I got 6 with only 2 turns, like a check turn in the air. So, I'm stoked. I think I made the right calls. And, Jake's a really hard competitor. So, keep going.
You know what was satisfying, mate? It was just unreal to see you unload the entire artillery. You know, big rail turns through the lip, fin release. The quad is obviously just a magic sled for you. Like the spark and the speed is just right there whenever you need to call on it.
Oh, that board, man! It's my best board here is Snapper for sure. Like quad, and it's a quad, and it just feels so good. Sometimes I want to even push too hard. Sometimes that's why I fell in a couple ways, but it's just right there whenever I need it. Speed, holds the speed, has a lot of drive, and I can do airs. It's an ultimate perfect board for a snapper.
Awesome, mate. Congratulations. This is where you belong, brother. You're making it happen.
Well, it took me a while, but I'm here. Let's fucking go.